I've been asked by some of you to do more videos like I did the other day about Jesus and basically a Bible study, connecting some dots. I see Jesus in a more spiritual way. I don't think the Bible is the definitive source for Jesus. It's just a resource. I actually have 2 other channels that I haven't had time for. One actually started growing and I had to stop posting on it. It was called Ascension Time, but there is some teaching there. Another is called So It Is. And I'm going to link to both of them below if I can. I haven't posted on So It Is in a little bit because honestly I've just been too busy. I don't know why I started that channel. I wanted to have something out there. I really was hoping to make it my main channel. Kind of trying to get away from this channel. I can't always do the readings. I just can't. In fact, I used to do more Bible stuff a few years ago and people got mad at me because I went into the readings, but at the time the Bible stuff was kind of burning me out. I'm not the kind of person who can do just one thing all the time though. If I have to do one thing all the time, which sometimes it feels like that's what this is, I can't stand it. I gotta move between things, like spend a few days on this, a few days on this. But and So It Is, I started doing affirmations, but also some teaching. But I would like to go back to that. And I have a ton of courses and stuff I'm trying to write, trying to finish. I have something on my website called the holodeck method, which really combines like a lot of the mental principles. It's just how I manifested things in my life, how I imagined my life into existence. That's what all is mind means. Like you can really focus your thoughts, create your world. In fact, I was just reading one of the lost books of the Bible. I think it was the Gospel of Thomas, about creating a new world, like basically just imagining it. That's how you create a new world for yourself. I totally believe that's what faith like a child means. Like a child will just imagine things. A child isn't afraid to use their imagination. But anyway, this book, The Holodeck Method, I might do a course to go along with it because I feel like that's more important than like any Bible study. I mean, I can connect dots. In fact, I have something on the way called The Mind Codes of Jesus. I keep saying I'm going to finish it. I have all kinds of stuff. I've written books before. I've been writing books for years. Not a whole lot of stuff like this, though. At my website, at needthismessage.store, I just added a promo code for my book, The Holodeck Method. If anybody wants to read it, it's 60% off. Only for a limited time. I just created it as I'm doing this video. I'm like, I'm just going to mention that. I would tell you the code here, but it gives me more control just to do it my website. Anyway, if you want that code, go to needthismessage.store. Because really, I think it applies the principles. That's really mostly what I do, is just like imagine my reality into existence. Also, I really like the teachings of Kevin Trudeau. Also at my website, you'll find a link to his book, a great book called Your Wish is Your Command. You might remember Kevin Trudeau. Some of us remember him back in the day. He did infomercials and stuff. He had these books about natural cures, which are still out there. And he left a secret society. He was in a secret society like most of his life. So if you search for him, you'll see that he went to prison. You might remember that. It was contempt of court. Like, he actually didn't do anything wrong. Like, seriously, 10 years for contempt of court. That's the longest sentence anybody's ever gotten for contempt of court, because he left a secret society. I just saw him on my feed last year. Apparently he's been on social media a few years, but as soon as he came across my feed, I was like, Kevin Trudeau. I wanted to know what went on, because I remember when he went to prison, but I also know what he did to change things like FDA laws and stuff. And I'm like, he must have got in trouble. He made somebody mad. That's why he ended up in prison for 10 years. It's all about thinking, feeling it before you have it. Your wish is your command. I mean, he just tied together some stuff for me, because what happened was I've realized this stuff on my own, that this is how it works. And he has just tied up so many things. And he also mentions the Bible, and just like I'm talking about spiritually, like I know a lot of you get it, it's more of a spiritual understanding. The Bible was published by man, manipulated by man, translated by man. A lot of stuff missing, so the man would be in charge. Honestly, it's about using your mind actively to create. I also want to tell you real quick, since you have listened this far, you might be thinking, secret societies, well, like Freemasons or somebody? I might have to start some kind of Substack. I don't know. There's certain things that I would love to say that I can't. I mean, some stuff you got to be careful even talking about on your own website these days. The teachings I'm telling you right now, Hermeticism, I'm not sure that it's exactly Freemasonry, but I know a lot of it's kind of wrapped in there. I don't know exactly what they teach, but there are so many conspiracy theories I was taught, but I was taught them from more of the fundamental perspective, which I know they lied to me now. So it makes me question everything they told me. But I was taught by someone who's like independent Baptist, fundamental Baptist leaning, that the Freemasons all was just evil, all this stuff. Look, I don't think it's really them. I was told that once they get to a certain level, that's when they learn the real stuff. I don't think that's what's going on. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel for Ascension Time, one of the last videos I published, the reason I stopped publishing on that channel, because it was the first time ever I got one of those warnings from TikTok. And I published it all over. I published Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. But it's the first time I got one of the warnings on TikTok where it was like the hammer of God. And that video started blowing up immediately. I don't think I've ever had this happen before or since. But I remember looking at the views, and I don't usually follow that stuff, but I kind of wanted to see if they would push it out. And I remember it had like a really low view count, but the shares were off the charts. I've never had a video where it was like, I don't know, 75 views and like 75 shares or something, or, you know, something close to it. And that's when I got the hammer of God. They send you this strike that I don't even want to talk about. It was like, do this again and you're gone. And usually on TikTok, what they'll do is they'll give you a violation, and it'll have this little, like, they'll gray your video out and put some kind of little, I forget, they put a little text at the bottom, and you can appeal it usually, or you can just delete the video or whatever. No, there was no appeal. There was nothing. There was nothing. They just deleted the video, told me don't do that again. And a lot of stuff that has happened lately, especially with the U.S. military, things that are trying to happen. Anyway, stuff I wish I could say. Because you hear about these secret societies, and I really don't think it's them. I think there's something else going on. We war not against flesh and blood. The Bible is very clear about that. People forget that. And even though I do believe all is mind, I'm just creating all this. It's part of the simulation. It's part of the game. Part of the show. Dwight D. Eisenhower. You know what's interesting is I saw last year, I did a deep dive on this, did a lot of research, and researched that, at least I thought that Dwight D. Eisenhower was a Freemason, but now I'm reading that he's not. But that he is. I'm seeing conflicting stuff. That's interesting. Because I went over and over and over this before. Now I'm just finding that Dwight D. Eisenhower used George Washington's inaugural Bible. And George Washington was a Freemason. Well, regardless. What is going on? Are they... I mean, I use ChatGPT to research, and unless ChatGPT lied to me, this is interesting. I'm glad I'm documenting this, because I know what I wrote. I know what I've got listed, and now it's like it's different, except for like Reddit forum and other places. It says, now it's like, no, Eisenhower wasn't a Freemason. He just really respected them. I mean, I used ChatGPT to fact check. And that was back when ChatGPT was still a little better. I'm really weird about AI. I don't use it for everything because I don't really trust it. Now I see. And now it's like, yeah, here's why I don't trust it. Did it lie to me? I mean, I know I had sources. I think I even did a video about it. Okay, he honored a 33rd degree Mason, J. Edgar Hoover, in a special White House ceremony. It's like he was a big fan. Okay. This is weird. This is weird. Not the first time. That's actually the second person. I don't know. Now I probably need to not mention it anymore, because that's the second person I've seen this happen to in the past few years. Yeah, Eisenhower's farewell address, 1961. He warned against the establishment of a military-industrial complex. If you go to Snopes, which I used to actually think was credible, you know, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it says, like the thing I put in this video, it says it wasn't, it says that it's never been proven that it's a hoax. Now I don't trust Snopes anymore, because everything I've seen so much, even especially lately. That's why they wanted to get rid of that video. And I saw it happen to somebody else recently, because someone else made a video about it. And I'm like, I can't believe they got away with making a video about this. But then the same girl came across my feed a few weeks later, and she said, yeah, she got that same warning. It must have slipped past them somehow for a minute. But I wish I could say more. I know you're like, what video? What are you talking about? You go to YouTube. I have a channel called Ascension Time, which I haven't posted anything in like a year. I haven't posted on So It Is in a couple months because I just have been really busy. I really need a personal assistant or something. I need more hours in the day. That's why I don't get enough done. And also people have asked me about like doing something like more interactive, like a subscription, a group. I'll be honest with you, I can't do that. I just can't do that. I've done it before. I've admin groups, and YouTube and Facebook, especially YouTube, has been trying to get me to do a community, a subscriber community. Facebook already has a subscriber community set up for me, but I've never agreed to it. They won't let me turn it off on the back end. And I've written to them, they won't even acknowledge me. Because what they did was they set it without my knowledge, without me ever setting it up. They had it on the back end, the highest price point on Facebook, like $49.99. And all I can do, I'm telling you, I've tried to turn it off. They will not let me turn it off. What they're trying to do is show me the money. They're trying to be like, well, if people will pay $49.99, then don't you want to do a group? No, I'm sorry, you guys. If I had someone to admin it for me, I could, but no. I've done it before. I know my limits. I know my mental health limits. I'm just not that person. I'm not the one who should be like interacting with everybody. In fact, I probably shouldn't be reading my comments because I don't know how to take them. So no, I can't go back and forth and have a subscription. That's what I call hell on earth. It's called hell. No, I'm just the writer. I'm just like the messenger, but I'm not the distributor or the one who provides community. I'm just not a community person. But, if I had someone to do that for me, I would definitely have a YouTube subscription or YouTube community. But I think if I did a YouTube community like what they want me to, it wouldn't be me talking about this stuff. It would be readings, people asking me questions and trauma dumping on me, and I can't. No amount of money is going to make that worth it for me. I have other things I can do. Money isn't everything. Now, if it was just a subscription where it's just stuff like my weird downloads, crazy theories, yeah, I could do that because that's the stuff I actually think about. But I can't force myself to think about stuff I don't want to think about anymore. It hurts. And I've been through enough where I feel like I've finally earned the right to do that. Yeah, money isn't everything. Sometimes adding money to something just adds more problems, just gives me more of a stomach ache. And anyway, let's not go there right now. I wish I could say more. Anyway, so it is one of my channels in Ascension Time, and I know I just rambled. Thanks for listening.